Hey, what's up guys? Brad with the Squared Away Everyday channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at, is your Tesla going to kill you? And I have a little bit of context behind that. I do have a Tesla Performance Model 3 and it's a 2019. That particular vehicle I've had some problems with lately and I thought I'd throw up a video. Now I wanted this video to go up like 3 weeks ago, so it's not quite as fresh on the brain, but we'll talk about it here in just a second. This is going to be a really quick and dirty video. I don't have much time these days to go ahead and put a bunch of B-roll and intros and stuff. When winter rolls around, sure, I'll go ahead and do that. But for today, this is going to be a quick and dirty video, hopefully 5 minutes or less. And it's going to be my experience with both autopilot and full self-drive. So let's kind of hop into it here. If you haven't had a chance yet, please go ahead and like the video if you dig it, sub to the channel, and let's just kind of hop into it. So why am I putting this video up to begin with in the first place? Well, I'm putting it up because maybe 4 weeks ago-ish, somewhere in that ballpark, I got an update on the Tesla, as we frequently get. Sometimes it's every week you're getting an update, sometimes it's every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but you're getting updates very frequently. Anyway, on the highway, a lot of times I'll use the autopilot feature and it'll just kind of drive itself. It doesn't really do much other than keep its speed, stay in its lane, and not run into things is what it's supposed to do. Anyway, after I got the update, I had 3 occurrences. The first occurrence was I was going about 70, 75 miles an hour. Actually, no, this particular one, I was going like 80, maybe 85 miles an hour. And out of nowhere, there was no traffic ahead of me. It was fairly open in front of me. There wasn't any weird shadows on the ground. The Tesla slams on the brakes down to like 55. The speed limit, mind you, was 65, maybe 70 on that particular stretch of road, and it slammed on the brakes and I almost got rear-ended by the truck behind me. Just an abrupt stop. We're going allegedly, let's just say allegedly, we were going around 80-ish miles an hour and it slammed on the brakes all the way down to 55, and the guy behind me was so close, almost rear-ended me, because why the hell would you just slam on the brakes going that fast on the highway and there's nothing in front of you? So that was the first occurrence I had. I went ahead and you can like double tap the speaker button and report bugs. And so what that is actually called is called phantom braking. After I looked it up, I didn't know at the time, but I did report the bug. I just double tapped and said report bug, and I didn't know what it was called. Maybe a day later, I was on the same stretch of highway, different section of that highway, but the same highway nonetheless, going about maybe 70, 75 miles an hour. Had the family in the car this time, and the same thing happened. Boom, slammed on the brakes, maybe down to like 50-ish, 45 miles an hour this time. And nobody was behind me at that time, but it did slam on the brakes again, out of nowhere. I wasn't going under a bridge. There was no shadows on the highway. There wasn't anybody that was about to get in my lane. It was way open, and there was nobody hardly on the road at that time. And it happened again, and it was very concerning at that time. So maybe 2-3 days later, I'd stopped using the autopilot entirely at that point. And so 2-3 days later, I think I tried it again on a different highway, and the same thing happened. Maybe 10-15 minutes into the drive, slammed on the brakes, and this time I was not doing it when anybody was behind me. And it was concerning. It was really concerning. Now I know that they can go ahead and do software updates and all this other stuff, but for me personally, that was unacceptable. For it to just slam on the brakes and drop you down 20, 25 miles per hour on the highway when nothing is going on, there's nothing in front of you. It was great weather. There was nothing blocking any of the sensors. I mean, there's no reason that that should have done that. It was startling, to say the least. And I haven't really used autopilot much since then. So that also brings us to our next topic. Actually, let's just follow up with that, with the first one. Is your Tesla going to kill you? I don't know. Maybe. If you have some sort of phantom braking and a semi slams into you, yeah, you might actually get killed. Who knows? That's just been my experience with it. I'm not going to say that Teslas are unsafe. I think that they're extremely safe vehicles. In terms of the autopilot, though, I'm not entirely sold. In terms of the FSD, I'm not sold at all. I don't trust the FSD at all. I'm not going to trust it to just drive me around until they get that shit fixed. So there's my first thing. Is your Tesla going to kill you? I don't know. Does it do some dangerous stuff? Yeah, it certainly does some dangerous stuff and some sketchy stuff, both on autopilot and I guess you can't really say FSD because FSD isn't really a thing yet. So that brings me into my next part of the rant, which is what the hell is going on with the FSD? I'm hearing now that they're going to have a subscription-based full self-drive. And so you can either pay $10,000 cash or you can just subscribe to the FSD. Now, for me, for people that lease their vehicle, I know that that's a big concern for them is why wouldn't I just, why am I going to pay for FSD when I don't own the vehicle? So I understand that. But for those of us who have paid $10,000 for full self-drive, we still don't have any sort of full self-drive features other than navigate on autopilot on highway, which is pretty much the same thing as autopilot. I think it's been a tremendous ripoff to this point, and I think that most people that bought FSD have already probably, like in the very beginning, have probably already sold that vehicle and they're on to the next one at this point. And so needless to say, I think it's been a tremendous waste of money, and I think the way that they've rolled that out has been egregious. So for me personally, I'm a little bit salty on that. Now, with that said, on my next Tesla, I'll pay for FSD again. And it's because for whatever reason, Elon is speculating that it's going to be a $100,000 upgrade in the future to have FSD on that vehicle. So I don't know if they're actually going to transition into more of a B2B business style where they're just selling their Teslas to businesses so that you can do like a robo-taxi fleet. If that is the case, and I have the option then to turn my Model 3 into a robo-taxi and it's no longer a personal vehicle for me, fine. FSD was a tremendous value, and I think that you really have gotten a great deal in that respect. But if this continues to draw out another 2-3 years and we still don't have any sort of real FSD, which it's not real full self-drive or autonomous driving because there still needs to be an operator sitting there making sure that the vehicle does what it's supposed to do. True full self-drive or autonomous driving would be where you could just flip the seat around and play games with your family and read a book and fall asleep and you don't have to do anything, which I do think it'll get there at some point, but we're not anywhere close to that, especially with my experiences with the phantom braking. And so for me personally, I'm not totally thrilled with the FSD stuff at this point, nor the autopilot. And I think for a lot of people, the FSD purchase was probably a big waste of money because still to this day, autopilot does pretty much the same thing. It's currently 2021 and it's just the end of June. We're just about to go into Q3 tomorrow, and we still don't have any significant features to make the $10,000 upgrade of FSD really worth it. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful in some way. If it was, please go ahead and like the video, sub to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.